Alright, you want to know what my favorite film series of all time is? Well, you don't have to think hard. Indiana Jones was one of the greatest adventure film series ever. It brought back the Western style type of films from the black and white era and made adventure films cool again. Well, let's take a blast to the past and look at the film that started it all. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark was 1981's highest-grossing film, and who can blame it? It was action-packed with a twist and turn every step of the way. The brilliant minds to come up with this were none other than Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. Lucas had made sure that Harrison Ford was cast as the part of Indy from previously working together on the Star Wars film series. In fact, it was so big, it spawned 3 sequels afterwards. But now on to the film. It starts out with the Paramount logo cross-fading into a mountain, which becomes a tradition for all the films. So we see 3 guys walking, and as far as we know, one is kept hidden in the shadows. Gee, this must be none other than Indiana Jones!
Now for this, the fact that they waited for a big reveal is kind of stupid. I mean, this is only the first movie and they act as though it's supposed to be a familiar character. I mean, I can understand if in one of the later films they use a silhouette or a shadow, because that would be just right. But for the first movie, they went overboard.
Another thing I have to mention is his attire. Leather coat, bullwhip, satchel, gun holster. Only Harrison Ford can make those things look good together.
And such as myself.
So if you haven't figured it out already, Indy's an archaeologist, and that's exactly how the movie opens up. Booby traps left to right, and that's an interesting thing to see. Now to just sum up the whole movie, Indy and his ex-lover Marion Ravenwood set out to find the Lost Ark before the Nazis do, and since it's the 1930s, it's only right that Indy fights the Nazis. And speaking of fighting, the death scenes are extremely violent and brutal. The only reason this movie got a PG rating is because PG-13 was not invented at the time. It ended up being the first 2 got a PG rating while the last 2 got PG-13. I mean, yeah, sure, I can see Raiders getting an R rated easily, but they must have cut enough to get it down for all ages. You know, I gotta say, this film has one of the worst movie lines in history.
Holy smoke, my friends, I'm so pleased you're not dead!
But then again, probably not as bad as this.
Mother! You're alive! Too bad you will die.
One of the most humorous scenes in the entire film is when Indy is confronted by a guy with a sword. Instead of using a whip, he simply just shoots him. It's just pure genius. Now here's a little fun fact about the whips. For every different shot they use, the whips always vary in length, but the overall legit length is 10 feet.
Now I have a whip here, and it says it's supposed to be 10 foot. Well, I measured it. It's actually 12 foot 2. So clearly his has to be longer than that.
There's one last thing I have to mention about this. The death of Tote. This is the most memorable kill in cinematic history. His face melts. This was done in such a great length of time that when the finished project was completed, they sped up the camera to make it look real.
Wow. Talk about a lot of work. So overall, it was a good movie, let alone a good series itself. It's entertaining as hell and should never be overlooked. I mean, yeah, sure, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was a huge flop, but the first 3 make up for what the last one lacked. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go crack this son of a bitch.